Alright, I thought it was a good time to talk a bit more about this year's building plans, all the things I want to get finished. I want to be in the cabin before winter next year, so basically when the leaves fall off end of October, I want to be in. I think it's feasible. It all depends on how much detailing and how much I want to have finished inside, and beside all the other things I want to do outside. For example, gardening. Still keep it small, but I want to do a little bit more than last year, so I want to have a greenhouse. I have a few ideas for that, so I can share that in a little bit. Chicken coop and a pond. I think the pond is a bit too much for this year. Also, if I want to finish the cabin, you know, it's probably a bit too much. But the chicken coop is going to be the inner cabin in which I spent the last winter, because I have the frame still lying around here. It's still sort of together, so it's a pretty quick job. It should be to put it together, put some chicken wire against it, and then it's a chicken coop. Then it would need to build an just a little house inside, so the chicken can be inside and they're protected. But that shouldn't be a very big job. A greenhouse, you know, with all of these things, I could do a very quick job, set up a greenhouse which is just functional with plastic glass instead of real glass and like a beautiful frame, you know. I could spend a lot of time on it to build something nice, or I do it quick, but then you would have to do things twice, right? It depends. But let's dive into the plans for the cabins, because that's the main thing and that's most of the work. And the first thing to do is the foundation work, so I can pour a floor. So let's first have a look at the overview of the property. So the cabins are here, tent area is here. This photo is taken last week. This is summer, quite different. So the garden area is gonna stay here. This is the little garden bed which is there now. There's probably gonna be another one next to it. And then the greenhouse right here, because this is a very nice spot which has a lot of sun exposure, even in December a little bit. And then the pond is going to be here, because there's kind of a ditch right here, and that's a nice place for a pond. The chicken coop is probably going to be here, so there's very young forest here, so that's probably going to be pushed back a little bit, so the chicken coop can be here, not too close and not too far from the cabins, so a little bit uphill. And then for the future, you know, this tent area, the tent I'll take down in winter definitely, but in summer it could be a guest area. In terms of greenhouse, I'm looking at things like this, so timber frame, real glass, some windows in there. I really like this. Quite small, 6 to 8 square meters, not more than that, maybe a bit smaller even. But yeah, this is not built in 2 weeks though, it will take a bit more time. Alright, let's have a look at SketchUp. This is where I draw everything. You've seen me using it before. I've drawn it up a little bit more. So first of all, this little dog shed, or whatever it was, is going to be a tiny room for utilities. So boiler, gas, water pipes coming together. That's all gonna be here, and perhaps some storage, but it is really small, so it can only be used for things like that. And then it's also protected from the weather. The chimney is going to be on the outside on that side. So, but let me explain a bit more about the stove, which is going to be inside. So SketchUp is connected to Enscape, which is another software which is nicer to show because it looks a bit more realistic. Here we go. So this is Enscape, which is linked to SketchUp, which I use for drawing all kinds of things. So I work in here, I design everything here, but Enscape is just a nicer visualization. And the nice thing is that you can change the time of the day actually. So you can simulate sunlight and the night as well. So let's have a look inside. So at the bottom is the bedroom, which has a shower. This is actually the shower right here. There's a toilet and there's a washing area. And then right there is the stove. My first idea was to have the stove in this corner over there and then have a separate stairs, but then you have this loft space, and I think it's quite beautiful to have a stone masonry stove which at the same time is also the stairs that's going up. Oh, you can still see the hill is going inside. I have to work on that. If we look from this corner, you can see that there is shower right there in the corner and then the washing area. Let me get rid of this hill. There you go, it's gone. Then we go upstairs. No, let's have a look how that looks during the daylight, because this is going to be a window, or a door and a window. There you go. Okay, I'm a little bit lost. I wanted to show you. First we're gonna go back downstairs. Navigation is a little bit difficult. Yeah, I'm inside a beam. There we go. So, here we are, the stairs. Let's go up, have a look there. Trying to learn how this software actually works. There we go. So this is sort of a sitting room, office area, kitchen. It's not going to be a Scandinavian style kitchen like it is. It's going to be more rustic, but these are the things I can just download from this library. And this is all open towards the bedroom. Now what you might have seen just here is those little retaining walls. These are here to support the building, because the original walls are actually higher, especially here. But to explain that, and that is actually the first job before I do anything, is building these walls and make this a stable space. But I can explain it better in a drawing. So here's the situation. You might remember a previous video I was talking about digging out the entire hillside all around the house to prevent water coming inside the house. I'm not going to start there, because I've been keeping an eye on the situation inside this summer, autumn, and it's actually pretty dry inside. So even without the gutters, when all the rainwater is ending up here, it's still pretty dry inside. So I think with the gutters in place, all this water is going to be transported away from the house. So for now the focus is inside building a floor. So I have to build a floor right here. At the moment it's just dirt. The main problem is this wall that starts actually quite a bit higher than this wall on this side. So I cannot build a floor right now. I have to first build retaining walls to support the structure right there. Here it has to be quite high because the walls is higher up. Here it's lower, so the walls could be actually quite a bit smaller. Made of concrete with a lot of rebar, so they're actually supportive. And then here all around like that. Now if there's groundwater could still end up here, so the first layer of the floor is going to be probably gravel, and in there is going to be a French drain in the middle or going around that is able to transport water outside of the house. Alongside this I also need to work on the plumbing to go to the septic tank. So for the toilet there needs to be a pipe going out here all the way down there. There's probably going to be a septic tank somewhere there. Then here is the stairs, which is going to be part of the stove that will sit here. This will be the main fire chamber, and then above that there will be a oven to make bread, pizzas and whatnot. And then I have to make a hole in the wall probably somewhere here, so the pipe can go out, and then there will be a stone chimney resting on because the hillside continues here right on the other side. Chimney will be built outside like there, and it will come above the roof like that. This is how they build chimneys, with a little thing on top. Don't know what that means. Sometimes a cross if it's in the Catholic area, but this is Valdesian, so they don't have crosses here. And that's basically the plan. The tricky part is here. I have to dig this out without the wall collapsing. I've been looking at the soil. It's quite sandy, but it has clay in there as well. With the right amount of moisture and pressure in there, it stays together quite well. But I'm still in touch with a few experts who know these buildings in this area, how to approach this the best way. Dividers, nice. Got a new pair of snow chains. I broke a set of the previous ones, and but the last days I haven't used them. I got good winter tires which have good grip in the snow, and there's two roads that go up to the house, basically one from town. So if I go up there and I go down here, because this is a steep road, I'm able to do it without the chains, if the snow is not more than this. Because the first road, it goes up very steeply from town, which is much lower, so there's less snow there. And then where there's most of the snow, it's already quite flat. And this road is very steep. So, but this little part up to the house, I need snow chains, otherwise I'm not gonna get there. awkward little corner. It's hard to show elevation on camera. It's sloping down here. Now right there where the car is, there's a few ditches, so the 4 tires are not touching the ground equally. And this car doesn't have differential lock, so it slips easily. It's a bad day. Yo!
I have one word for you. It's called April.
I thought I'd start digging out the pond, but this is not the best way.
Oh my goodness. This is wow.
I needed to get the trailer, but couldn't get the trailer out, so I backed out a bit. It looked quite flat, but I forgot how steep this ditch was, and there's a lot of snow in there.
Dang.
So,
And you don't have a winch or anything like this?
on the crane. Well, not attached, not attached to it.
The crane. That was a big hour for the crane.
Yeah. Well, I was trying to get this plank underneath there, because the problem is this wheel. That's the one spinning.
Oh wow. Yeah.
That's the one in the ditch.
And so
I wanted to get, but I have only I can lift this up.
Oh wow.
But my other hand's not long.
No. Yeah,
So that's why.
not even the long Dutch hands.
You get it a bit. Slightly on average. Alright, wasted half a day on that. At least I got the trailer out. Thanks again to Johannes. I don't know if the last bit is recorded, but it was quite rough to get it out there. a lot more than I thought. Taking off most of the snow, so by the end of the week I have a dry roof. So everything can just settle and dry in the gutters. Otherwise, can't finish it this week. I wanted to see what the soil is like if it's being compacted and it's wet, because it seems to be quite powdery, quite sandy, but I think there's clay in there as well. This is quite solid. it's time for another drawing or painting. I'm going a bit bigger now. This is 50 by 30. And I've toned it down with sort of a brown layer. It's like a very dark brown, but mixed with a lot of thinner. It's a nice mid-tone color to start with. Better than just plain white. I'm gonna paint this picture, which is a view from summer out of the forest. Quite harsh black and white, like dark and light tones. I'll probably lighten that up a bit, but I think it's always a beautiful angle towards the cabins. It's nice to think of summer in these cold days. Oops. Alright. First rough layer is on there. I like it to have a full canvas of paint on the first day. So this is about 3 hours of work. It's very rough still, but the dark and the light and the colors are in its place. So from now on is just fine-tuning bit by bit. Alright, they're well protected for shipping. They're not official frames, of course, but protection is important because I've shipped a lot of books. My photo books, they're heavy, and books are fragile, so they're difficult to ship. Because I've seen packages coming back completely wet or destroyed, you know. And these ones you can throw around, and then nothing will happen. Quite sturdy. I don't have to solder it, which I don't want, because now I can take it easily apart when I need to service it for some reason. But nice. Needs a little tan. It's like your first day on the beach. So when it's copper is new, it's very shiny and pale, but already in about 3-4 months it's quite dark brown, and first it's reddish brown, and then after a few years it becomes slowly more and more green brown, and then after how many years it turns green, like the Statue of Liberty, which is also made of copper. Alright, gutters are finished, except from the long pipe on the other side. It arrived with a dent, so I have to get a new one, but that's a very quick job. Really happy it's finished. It was a big job. It took me much longer than I thought, which also had to do with winter, you know, a lot of snow, short days, all the other little problems I had to fix, which you have in winter when you live outside. So, but I'm really glad with the result. You know, it was a lot of work, took a lot of time, but there's much more time, years, that you have to look at the result, you know. So every time I'll look at it, I'll be happy to make it just a little bit more special than just the standard kind of gutters. So it's definitely worth it. So this is a change of works. Next week I'm gonna start working inside, foundation, a lot of digging, a lot of hard and dirty work is coming ahead. So I'm glad to have some help. There's some guys coming next week. So it's gonna be fun. Now taking a little break because it's weekend.